Daily Trust News Center. This is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, Boko Haram improvised explosive device kills 21 mourners in Yobe. NLC President Joe attacked as police deny arrest. Senate receives fresh $7.8 billion loan request from President Tinubu. And on the foreign scene, Rafa Crossing linking war-torn Gaza to Egypt opens. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for joining. And now the news in details. 21 persons, mostly children and women, have been killed by an improvised explosive device planted by Boko Haram terrorists in Yobe State. Daily Trust reports that the bomb exploded in Goni area of Gaidam local government area of the state on Tuesday, killing the mourners who buried their relatives recently killed by insurgents. The tricycle conveying some of the mourners hit the IED, leading to a loud explosion in the area. A source in Gaidam who spoke anonymously said that the victims were returning from a burial ceremony when the tragedy happened. Another source says that 21 persons have been confirmed dead, while 4 others with minor injuries are receiving treatment in the village. The tricycle was loaded with over 30 people on a return trip to their villages after the burial rites. The Public Relations Officer of Yobe State Police Command, DSP Dungus Abdul Karim, said that 20 persons have been confirmed dead. All right, to talk to us some more about this is Daily Trust reporter in Yobe, Habibu Idris, who joins us via phone. Thank you so much for joining us on the News Hour, Habibu.
Thank you, sir. Nice to have you.
All right. So, Habibu, what more do we know about this incident, that happened, killing this number of people?
Well, recently there are some increase of the Boko Haram attacks in Yobe, especially in neighboring and border communities. 2 local governments who are cited, or 2 local governments in Yobe State are affected by Boko Haram attack recently. Those local governments are Gaidam and Termo local government. More than 46 persons have been killed. Has been killed within 2 weeks for now. The recent incidents that happened was there are 21 mourners who are mostly children and women. They come from vulnerable activities. There was a report that Boko Haram killed 16 farmers in Gonegari. It's just a town just a small town situated a few kilometers away from Gaidam local government council. So they go there for burial activities. After they come back, they met with this unfortunate incident where a tricycle where a tricycle that conveyed them make a struck by an improvised explosive devices. That's why the security used to call it IED. So far, 21 people have been confirmed, while 4 people are receiving medical treatment right now in the hospital. The security agencies has confirmed the development. Not only security, even the security advisor to the Yobe State Governor, General Abdul Salam, I also confirmed that yes, there are some increase of attacks by Boko Haram insurgents in Gaidam and more local government. But he gave us assurance that the state government is doing everything possible to make sure that this number of attacks or several attacks being launched by Boko Haram has been reduced, has been tackled to the minimum level.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Habibu Idris, Daily Trust correspondent in Yobe, for joining and giving us this update on the incident.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on, the Nigeria Labour Congress has described as attempted murder the arrest and assault suffered by the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, after the botched statewide protest in Imo State. In a statement by the NLC Head of Information and Publicity, Comrade Benson Upa, the NLC president has been brutalized and rushed to the Federal Medical Center, Owerri, with his right eye completely shut. Upa says that contact was made with Ajero after hours of his arrest at the police hospital in Owerri, after which he was taken to the Federal Medical Center, Owerri, for medical treatment. Meanwhile, the police command in Imo State has denied the arrest of the NLC president, stating that he was in custody for protection after a clash involving the Imo State chapter of the NLC. All right. Now, moving on. The president has again requested Senate approval for $7.8 billion and 100 million euros after an initial request to the National Assembly for approval of the 2.18 trillion naira supplementary budget. President Tinubu's request is contained in a letter to the Senate and read during the plenary by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio on Wednesday. In the letter, the president explained that the request is anchored on an approval given by the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration after a Federal Executive Council meeting on May 15, 2023. The president says that the projects cut across all sectors with emphasis on infrastructure, agriculture, health, education, water supply, security, and employment, as well as financial management reforms, among others.
Projects cut across all sectors with specific emphasis on infrastructure, agriculture, health, education, water supply, growth, security and employment generation, as well as financial management reforms, amongst others. The total facility of the projects and programs under the borrowing rolling plan is United States dollars 7,864,508,559 US dollars, and then euro 100 million euros respectively.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has confirmed the appointment of Shaka Chira as the Auditor General of the Federation. Now, the Senate also confirmed the appointment of 7 resident electoral commissioners of INEC recently nominated by President Tinubu. The confirmed nominees include Kamba Umoren from Akwa Ibom State, Isa Shaka from Edo State, Oluwatoyin Babalola of Ekiti State, Abubakar Ahmed Maji of Gombe, Shehu Wahab, Kwara, Aminu Kasimi Idris from Nasarawa, and Muhammad Abubakar Sadiq. The nominees were confirmed after undergoing screening on the floor of the Senate on Wednesday. The remaining 3 nominees from Rivers, Zamfara, and Lagos were not present for the screening and confirmation exercise. The confirmed recs are to serve a 5-year term each.
Confirm the nomination of Mr. Shaka Chira as Auditor General for the Federation of Nigeria. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The appointment of Mr. Shaka K. Chira as Auditor General for the Federation of Nigeria is hereby confirmed. Distinguished colleagues, Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Mr. Shehu Wahab from Kwara State for appointment as Resident Electoral Commissioner for the Independent National Electoral Commission? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has sacked the former governor of Benue State, Gabriel Suswam, from the Senate. The appellate court on Wednesday, in a unanimous decision by a 3-member panel of justices, declared that Suswam was not the valid winner of the senatorial election that was held in Benue North East on February 25, 2023. It faulted the judgment of the Benue State National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal, which returned Suswam of the People's Democratic Party to the Senate after it nullified the election victory of Emmanuel Udende of the All Progressives Congress. According to the appellate court, the tribunal wrongly evaluated the evidence that was presented before it by the parties involved in the matter and arrived at a flawed conclusion that upheld the petition Suswam filed to challenge Udende's election victory. Consequently, the court voided the judgment of the tribunal, saying that it found merit in the appeal that was lodged before it by the APC candidate. Now, as Nigerians continue to grapple with the food inflation, the price of everyday commodity like sugar has skyrocketed, making it difficult for households to afford. Kano State, despite being a commercial hub where food prices are usually affordable, is experiencing a huge spike in the price of sugar, forcing residents to search for alternatives. In this report, Idris Jibrin takes a look at the market to unravel the development.
Inside Kano's popular Singa market, truckloads back of sugar arrived, and these young men are now uploading what may likely be expensive for them to afford. Well, I just bought this sugar. Today I bought it 59,500 naira. Yesterday and day before yesterday, I bought it at 60,000 naira. In some places, they are selling it 61,000 naira. So unfortunately, the price is so expensive, but we thank God today it has reduced, and we hope it will continue to reduce. From the popular bakery to a local gurasa processing facility in Kano, down to several other kinds of food that require sugar, this important commodity now has no fixed market price. Honestly, there is no fixed price of sugar nowadays. You go to the market today, you buy it at 60,000 naira or 61,000 naira. If you go back tomorrow, it will be another thing. So the price is actually fluctuating on a daily basis. According to the traders, over 90% of sugar consumed in Nigeria is imported. And with the effect of drought in India's top sugar grower, the level of production has drastically reduced, leading to high costs of sugar across the globe. You know, most of the sugar we consume in Nigeria is imported. The factories we have, Dangote and Bua sugar factories, cannot produce enough sugar for us to consume in this country. Hence, the price is always very expensive, especially nowadays. And we know that India is the top grower, and India is also facing drought, so there is no way we can import sugar from that place. Even if we are importing, the level of production has drastically reduced in India. Although all attempts to speak with the major dealers of this commodity in Kano was not successful, commentators, however, believed that the high cost of sugar in Nigeria is worsened by high cost of transportation, among other reasons. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, dates are popular fruits, especially in northern Nigeria, with a huge demand all year round. The recent shortages being experienced by marketers of the commodity is causing a major disruption due to supply shortfall occasioned by the Nigeria-Niger border closure. This development is negatively impacting the businesses of marketers in Babaldu of Birnin Kudu local government area of Jigawa State, as Adamu Imam reports.
Babaldu is a popular destination for dates of different varieties along Bauchi and Jigawa State. Selling dates has become the main occupation of most people in the area. The fruit is popular for its taste, nutritional, medicinal, and religious value, making it a higher marketable commodity. Over the years, dealers of the commodity like Alhaji Adamu make bank selling dates, but now the tides have changed and the market is gradually shrinking. If the border remains closed, people will continue to suffer. This dates business, I testify that the whole of Nigeria, there is no place like Babaldu and Shuarin in Jigawa. We all import them from Niger. Now you can see there are no different types of dates, unlike before. Look, our tables are empty. There are just few dates. It wasn't like this before. People come from Lagos to patronize us here. As the economic principle states, the higher the demand, the higher the price, especially when there is a shortage in supply, and marketers are now lamenting the unusual disruption which has been linked to the closure of the borders between Nigeria and Niger Republic. I was told that no place like Babaldo in regards to the dates business. I travel all the way from far distance to buy dates, but the price has changed drastically. Last year we bought at 2,100 naira only, but now it's around 4,000 naira. We expect to gain, and dates business is flourishing. We still manage to make sales at the end, but honestly, not like before. We used to buy a major at 700 naira before, but now it is close to 5,000 naira. I don't know what is happening. They should open our borders. If the borders were open again, the economic direction of this country will change for the better. Since the military took over in Niger, poor people have been feeling the heat. Government should wake up and do something. For these marketers, the economic sanctions imposed by ECOWAS are suffocating their businesses as they call of the government to rethink the cost of the embargo. For now, they can only hope that things will get better in the future as they struggle to put food on the table. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
Ministers and presidential aides who do not meet up to expectations will be shown the way out of government. President Bola Tinubu read the Riot Act on Wednesday at the opening of a 3-day retreat for ministers, presidential aides, permanent secretaries and top government functionaries. President Tinubu's setting up of a results and delivery unit to be headed by his special advisor on policy coordination, Hadiza Bala Usman, sets the tone for a government focused on delivery. Kendi Amodu reports.
Presidential retreats for incoming cabinet members are a matter of routine and a way to gain insight into how determined any administration is on performance. Right from the first salvo, it is clear that achieving results are a major priority for this administration, especially as ministers and presidential aides have to sign a performance bond.
The bonds contain the ministerial deliverables alongside their key performance indicators, KPIs. Each of the KPIs contain the baseline data and targets for the next 4 years. Ministry performance will be assessed quarterly, beginning from the end of the first quarter of 2024.
But the stakes are raised higher when the president outlines what he expects from the cabinet. 2 attributes are key to him: being intellectually inquisitive and being productive.
If you are performing, nothing to fear. If you miss the objective, we review. If no performance, you leave us. No one is an island. And the buck stopped on my desk.
Both the United Kingdom and the World Bank are assuring the Tinubu administration of support for its programs aimed at providing renewed hope and lifting many Nigerians out of poverty.
I applaud the big and bold economic reforms that you are taking forward. I admire your leadership of ECOWAS, your strong voice on democracy, and your G20 international engagement, all of which have thrust Nigeria back onto the international stage.
We're here to support your programs. We take your guidance from you. But even though we have the word bank in our names, I hope you will think of us as more than a bank. I mean, our real hope is that you will trust us and that we will be able to earn your trust, that we have something more to offer in the nature of solutions.
President Tinubu is passionate about healthcare and education, which he says are key to touching the lives of as many Nigerians as possible. He has also resolved to transform the economy to work for citizens with the aim of taking 50 million people out of poverty. Achieving this, the president believes, starts with the foundations laid at this retreat. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amudu, Trust TV News.
You're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up ahead, we'll tell you why Nigerians are lamenting the difficulty in NIN registration. Details and more after the break.
That's right, you too could be one of the 20 Zenith Bank customers that will win 150,000 Naira every 2 weeks from June 1st, 2023 until May 31st, 2024 in the Zenith Better Life Promo 3. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Live the better life with Zenith Bank.
As a demonstration of its commitment to provide sustained access to basic healthcare for all Nigerians, the Federal Government of Nigeria, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, has established the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, BHCPF. The Basic Healthcare Provision Fund is designed to deploy operations fund directly to primary healthcare facilities in every political ward nationwide to ensure the availability of quality PHC services to all Nigerians, irrespective of where they live or work. The Basic Healthcare Provision Fund guarantees 24 hours availability of midwives, other health workers, and health supplies in at least one PHC in every political ward. Ask from your local government health department for the BHCPF PHC in your ward to get more information and benefit from the services. Think access to healthcare for all. Think universal health coverage. Think Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Health and National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA. For further inquiries, call the NPHCDA toll-free number 7722 or visit www.nphcda.gov.ng.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not about you in itself.
Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No. It's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its higher horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for jam, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Hello and welcome to Creative Lounge on Trust TV. My name is Ahmed Mohammed Bello and I'm going to be taking you through my journey as an artist.
Welcome back. You're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. A look at the top stories again. Boko Haram improvised explosive device kills 21 mourners in Yobe. NLC President Chira attacked as police deny arrest. Now, in other news, ahead of the November 11 governorship election in Bayelsa State, residents are calling for an improvement in the election process to guarantee a non-violent and seamless exercise. The political atmosphere in some parts of the state remains charged as Bayelsa, Imo and Kogi take part in the off-circle governorship election. Trust TV's correspondent, Friday, Mb Bomboe Peter, has the details.
Bayelsa is one of the 3 states that will be taking part in the November 11 governorship elections in Nigeria. Unlike Imo and Kogi State, the political temperature in the state remains high. The polity has been overwhelmed by tragic narratives that is capable of fueling violence clashes in volatile areas of the state.
From the People's Democratic side, which is Governor Diri's side, there's no encouragement to be violent. But from the other side, there's an extreme encouragement, to be violent. And except the police and the army rises up to the challenge and does their duty by us, definitely in places like Upunembe and in places like Southern Ijo, Logbobiri to be exact, I wonder what would happen to our people. And as a mother, I continue to cry out and continue to pray that something is done for the safety of the Bayelsan people. When people go on live recordings and threaten that people in Twombras, if they don't go your way, you should throw them into the water. This country has laws, and this country has law enforcement agents.
The Independent National Electoral Commission and the Nigerian police have also been charged to remain neutral and professional during the exercise, which will go a long way in ensuring an acceptable outcome.
INEC, our prayers and charge to them is for them to be neutral. As the umpire of that election, we don't want things that have come to pass to repeat itself in the state again. We don't want the days when people will sit down and write results and come and announce them. We want our votes to count. So we want INEC to ensure transparency, fairness, and the elections should come out credible.
Residents have expressed optimism ahead of the election as Bayelsans head to the poll to elect the next governor of the state.
Come Saturday, they were saying over some hundreds or thousands of people have not collected their PVCs. So these few days they should distribute the PVCs and they should make sure that the elections are conducted free, fair and credible.
I'm prepared though, because this coming election that is coming up next week, I'm very prepared. I did prepared because of this election. I want everybody who won't vote to come outside, come vote for the right person and your choice.
Ahead of the election, as Bayelsans head to the poll to elect the next governor of the state, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagua.
The All Progressives Congress has hailed the judgment of the appeal court, which set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court disqualifying its candidate, Mipre Silva, from contesting the November 11th governorship election in Bayelsa State. The Federal Capital Territory, Abuja Division of the Appellate Court, in the judgment delivered on Tuesday, held that the first respondent lacks the locus standi to institute the case.
The uncertainty around the participation of Tinubu Silva in the forthcoming Bayelsa election has been finally put to rest following the verdict of the appeal court. Reacting to the judgment at a press briefing held in Yenagoa, APC party chairman Dr. Dennis Ochietu welcomed the development while calling on the Independent National Electoral Commission to include Silva's name in the final list of candidates for the election.
We are grateful to God and to the Court of Appeal for reinstating that position of the law. And today, the appeal by the APC and our governorship candidate, Chief Tinubu Silva, was upheld, and the judgment of the Federal High Court disqualifying our candidate was set aside. And so, it is a thing of joy. I hope that they will use the same speed to now put the name of Chief Tinubu Silva in the final list of candidates for the Bayelsa State governorship election.
The APC chairman, while celebrating the judgment, says the APC will give the PDP in Bayelsa a run for its money in the election on November 11.
Because the PDP government was not interested in going to the polls, they had insisted that we will be out of the ballot. And so, with this judgment, I believe that they will be devastated because they were not prepared. They were looking for technical knockout, but by this judgment, they have been disappointed, and God will continue to disappoint them.
While speaking on the heightened political tension in the state, the APC chairman called on security operatives to step and curb the tide of politically motivated attacks in some parts of the state, which may affect the election process.
Elections are just a few days from now, and a situation where the PDP will be going about both in the day and in the night to intimidate our supporters, to shoot guns, to look for them, and then to harass them. And so we are here to call on the Nigerian Police Force, the Department of State Security, and other security agencies to take action in forestalling further occurrences.
Dennis Ochietu also dismissed a now viral video indicting the APC running mate of making inciting comments, saying the video was doctored by mischief makers. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
Operatives of the Ibadan Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on Wednesday arrested 69 students suspected to be internet fraudsters in Ile-Ife, Osun State. EFCC Head of Media and Publicity, Dele Oyewale, while confirming the development, said that the suspected internet fraudsters were arrested based on credible intelligence. The Public Relations Officer of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Abiodun Olarewaju, debunked the insinuation that the suspects are OAU students. Olarewaju said that the OAU campus remains calm and peaceful as academic activities are going on without any form of disturbance or distraction. The EFCC spokesman said that exotic cars, 190 mobile phones and 40 laptops were recovered from the suspect. Goods and property worth millions of naira were destroyed by a midnight fire at the popular Ladipo plank market, Mukoko, along Igomu Road, Orile area of Lagos State. Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Authority, LASEMA, Femi Oke Osaitolu, confirmed the development, stating that no life was lost in the incident. According to Oke Osaitolu, the agency responded to distress calls and arrived at the above scene of the incident to discover that the plank market was being gutted by fire. Though the cause of the fire has not been verified, eyewitnesses say that the fire started around 12:30 a.m. in the main market. LASEMA and Lagos State Fire Service and Federal Fire Service have successfully tamed the fire after battling it for hours. Residents in parts of Bayelsa have been hit with heavy downpour, which has inundated houses due to inadequate infrastructure like drainages. The overnight rainfall kept most residents awake, struggling to contain the impact of the flood water from damaging their properties. Trust TV's Friday Ebimo boy Peter captures the mood of the residents in this report.
This is not an unusual experience for residents in Bayelsa. A heavy downpour is always accompanied by flooding because these communities lack necessary infrastructure to mitigate the impact of flood water. Residents have been speaking out on the devastating impact of flooding in their community while calling on the government to address the deficit in infrastructure to protect their livelihood.
Now, so as you see the water now for our house, water then full. Inside our room, they all now water. See this, my sister place safe now water everywhere for nights now. So we carry chairs then put. So may they help us, may government help us. See how the gutter they full. So as the gutter don't full, they enter people compound. The gutter, the environment are themselves, they need to help us. See how gutter they full everywhere. They will carry foam all long wet finish. Nothing day. So now so we stand till they break.
The rain when it fall, water can enter house. We call the bed the water since night till this morning. It's not easy, my brother, because the water enter the house. No way to sleep, because the more you close your eye, the water they just they enter. It's a whoa, whoa, whoa. May government come help us. So the gutter, I don't know what to do. For front, for that side, PDP side, they say they block one place for there. They know if you open the place, may water flow go. Now make this water they stand for here. No wait for the water to flow.
The recurring flooding has become challenge for these residents who say provision of standard drainages will go a long way in addressing their concerns.
People back themselves to pass. If you dress well, you are going to your office or going to your shop. Yeah, people have to pay money. People will back you past this place. People cannot even sleep in their house. They are bailing water from morning since night. Are building house anyhow, blocking the way the water is flowing. If government will help to open the right place where the water will flow to join the main road, flow go, it will help. But children, their leg will be chopping because of the water.
The recent heavy downpour has disrupted activities of residents and business across the state capital, Yenagoa. Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News, Yenagoa.
As Nigeria develops its national strategy for the development of statistics, stakeholders have re-echoed the need to focus on climate change data as well as labor statistics in Nigeria. The National Strategy for the Development of Statistics is a mechanism aimed to transform the national statistical system and enhance accessibility to quality statistical data in the country. Sagir Ibrahim has more.
Chief Dakuku Peterside, a former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, emphasized on strengthening data gathering in the area of climate change.
Statistics enable us to meet international obligations and standards. Adequate data is critical for reporting on our progress with regard to sustainable development goals and complying with international treaties and agreements. And the new dimension is in the area of climate change statistics. I don't think we've been doing much on climate change data. And if you recall, it's very easy to draw a connection between climate change data and the state of our agriculture. Now, what of the natural disasters we experience, the frequency of natural disasters in recent times, they have a connection with climate change and climate change statistics.
Also, the Director General, Michael Imodu National Institute for Labor Studies, Comrade Isaremu, explained that while data shows the number of Nigerians living on wage employment, he stressed the need to expand the horizon of labor statistics.
13.4% of Nigerians live on wage employment. But what do they earn? What do they live on? So we need to expand the horizon of labor statistics. And again, my institute would like to partner with you on that, because we now have working poor. Working poor, people who are poor on account of working, because their wages can make them to get poorer every day. Last time we had the minimum wage on 18,000. It came to almost about $95 to $100. But as I'm talking to you now, at 30,000 naira, the minimum wage of 30,000 is just about $40, if not less.
Statistician General of the Federation, Prince Adeyemi Adeniran, called for synergy between government and other stakeholders for the development of robust data in the interest of national development.
It is through your collective wisdom that we craft a strategy that is inclusive, forward-thinking, and relevant to the needs of our diverse society. Let us work together to build a stronger and more vibrant statistical system which is capable and resourceful to produce and facilitate the use of data in progress toward sustainable development of our country. In so doing, we'll be fulfilling our mandate and contributing our quota towards a data-driven, safer, progressive, economically viable nation that works for the benefit of all Nigerians.
Others say that the improvement of Nigeria's national statistical system is in line with global best practices towards ensuring data-driven service delivery, improving data literacy, among many other benefits. Sagir Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, despite the federal government's commitment to fast-tracking a seamless process for acquiring national identification number, the bottlenecks still persist as applicants wait in agony due to connectivity challenges. The NIN has become central to documentation processes in Nigeria, with various applications requiring citizens to provide the number for data management. So why are these technical challenges persisting? Trust TV News finds out on this in this report.
On paper, the process is designed to be seamless and time-effective, but the reality is different. Registering for NIN has become difficult and time-consuming. Despite years of operational experience, the National Identity Management Commission is still struggling to provide a smooth process that guarantees efficiency without the usual hassle. Sharifat Abbas Tayo is an SS3 student who needs her NIN to register for the upcoming WAEC examination. She has so far missed 3 days of school, visiting the Kubwa Center for the registration without much progress.
Since I've been here since last week, it's either they say network or we came late or the people here are rude. And anytime we be here, we come by maybe 6 o'clock to ask us to go 2 o'clock when we didn't even do anything. Network is always the problem and we just don't know what to do.
I've been here since last 2 weeks. Like, the whole situation is just getting tiring and boring. And I need the name for my WAEC, and the registration is fast approaching and it's almost ending. So I just think that the government should just try and make things easier for us, because it's just frustrating. So some of us have been here since last week. Even yesterday, they couldn't even attend to us.
In explaining the challenges responsible for the delay, the Commission staff who spoke off camera say the difficulty is related to network challenges linked to the database, which hinders the smooth processes. Other applicants at the Kubwa Center lamented the inability of the Commission to overcome the challenges and guarantee a speedy and effective registration.
These 3 days now, I've been staying here since Monday. Every time they will tell me come on early in the morning and write my name. And if I come and write my name, at the end of the day, they will tell you network is not around. So I've listened a lot.
I don't know what to do, and they say the system is down. There's no network. So if it is possible for them to call our international personnel to come and fix this network, so that we can make use of this network. Since our graduates that study networking cannot fix it, they don't call someone internationally to come and fix this thing. I've been passing through this thing. Some people are facing a lot of challenges in the bank, but no way to access their money.
The situation in Abuja is reflective of a national phenomenon where many Nigerians are encumbered by a system that is important to national development but remains unnecessarily tedious. However, if the current repositioning of Nigeria's Interior Ministry under Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo is anything to go by, it may not be long before this challenge is surmounted. But for these applicants, the waiting game continues.
Residents of Imo Town in Ilesha Northeast local government area of Osun State have vowed to end female genital mutilation practice in the town because of its harmful consequences. Female circumcision is practiced in some parts of the state, and there are efforts to sensitize people on the dangers of the age-long traditional practice. Hamid Oegbade reports.
Female circumcision, also known as female genital mutilation, is a traditional practice that involves the partial or total removal of external female genitalia or other injury to the female genital organs for non-medical reasons. The practice is internationally recognized as a violation of human rights and is considered a harmful practice.
We have prolonged obstructed labor. We also have laceration. We have laceration, that is perineal laceration, as a result of female genital mutilation, which occurs and which may lead to prolonged and obstructed labor. It may also lead to varicovaginal fistula or rectovaginal fistula. And we also have sexual effects of female genital mutilation. The people that have been called, they experience sexual dissatisfaction.
According to the Nigeria Demographic Health Survey, the prevalence of female circumcision in Osun State has reduced from 77.6% to 45.9%. Residents of Imo Town in Ilesha Northeast local government area of Osun State said they have been educated about the dangers of female circumcision and vow to end the practice in the town.
And we've been educated on the needs to stop female genital mutilation in the entire Ilesha local government. And we've all agreed that we are stopping it right from today. We are stopping female genital mutilation.
The decision we are making in our own community, Imon, as a whole, is we have put an end to female genital mutilation. Everybody has unanimously agreed that there is no way to female genital mutilation.
So my advice to other communities out there is that they should stop this practice because it does not have any benefits to the females.
Experts say addressing the practice requires a multifaceted approach that involves the collaboration between governments, communities, including NGOs, healthcare providers, and international organizations to raise awareness of the dangers of female genital mutilation. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
The need for diversification of the country's economy has been re-echoed following attainment of a chartered status. The Institute of Directors say that 3 ministries have been incorporated and will have discussions around revamping the country's economic diversification and transformation during the 2023 Annual Directors Conference scheduled to hold on 16th and 17th of November in Abuja. Members from the Chartered Institute of Directors gave the assurance at a courtesy visit to the Media Trust Group headquarters, stressing that rising from the conference, policy directions for addressing issues would be presented to relevant ministries, departments and agencies of government and regulators, which will influence policy formulations moving forward.
What we're going to do is what we have been doing every day. All right. Whatever we proposed before is not necessarily going to be because there is a new government. All right. Whatever we're doing is actually best practices. We tell the government that these are the best practices. This is the best thing you need to do. We'll continue to do that, and luckily, at least they do here. So our approach is simply really: government is a continuum. We'll continue to give our own best, put our own best effort to give best recommendations for whoever is in government.
I personally believe that the corporate governance in every sector, not even in the financial sector, is what is most important. As you all know, since the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, corporate governance has become a major issue in the financial sector. A lot of investors believe that a company that has a very robust corporate governance is likely to do better than those, those that have an excellent financial.
Now, in business news, trading across most emerging markets was tepid on Wednesday, with investors staying on the sidelines ahead of the highly anticipated U.S. Federal Reserve rate decision as they assessed factory activity data from local economies. MSCI's index tracking EM stocks, MSCI EF, was unchanged, while a basket of developing markets currencies edged down 0.1% by 0902 GMT. Economists widely expect the Fed to leave the benchmark borrowing rates unchanged in the range of 5.25% and 5.5% as its decision due at 1800 GMT, following a recent surge in U.S. Treasury yields that pressured emerging market stocks and currencies in October. Investors are especially keen on the central bank's outlook. Disappointing October manufacturing activity data across emerging economies also tempered risk sentiment. And on the foreign scene, the Rafah border crossing between Gaza and Egypt has opened for the first time since the Israel-Hamas war erupted. More than 500 foreign nationals and dual citizens will be allowed to leave the enclave, the Gaza borders and crossings. The list of the people allowed to cross was published by the authority that called on them to head towards the crossing on Wednesday. According to earlier reports, dozens of injured Palestinians needing medical treatment in Egypt will also be allowed to leave the enclave. Convoys of desperately needed aid have been trickling in Gaza through Rafah since last month, but no people had been allowed through the crossing until Wednesday. Queues formed on Wednesday morning at the terminal. After being allowed into the terminal area, huge queues formed around crossing booths for checks on passports and other documents. Ambulances waited on the Egyptian side to take away the wounded and sick. Still on the foreign scene, the Ugandan government on Wednesday slammed the United States announcement that it will withdraw the country from a trade agreement because of human rights violations, saying that the move will hurt its farmers and small businesses. Washington announced this week that it was excluding Uganda, along with Central African Republic, Gabon and Niger, from the list of sub-Saharan African countries benefiting from the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, from January 2024. This act, which dates back to 2000, allows African countries to export a wide range of products to the United States duty-free. This preferential trade treatment is, however, subject of a series of conditions in terms of political pluralism, respect for human rights and the rule of law, and the fight against corruption. In a letter to Congress, U.S. President Joe Biden accused the Ugandan government of human rights violations, which has been the focus of fierce criticism from human rights groups. The UN and Western countries, since the adoption in May of a law dubbed the Anti-Homosexuality Act 2023, the law provides for heavy penalties for people who have homosexual relations and promote homosexuality. Now, time for us to take a look at sports update put together by Emmanuel Fashemi.
Barely 2 weeks to the opening match day of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, African Soccer Governing Body CAF has said there won't be usage of the video assistant referee, also known as VAR. 2-round games will go down in less than 5 days across the continent. The reason for the decision was not disclosed, but the video technology may likely be back for the remaining match days next year. Nigeria's Super Eagles are among the countries that will play in the qualifiers and will host the Crocodiles of Lesotho in the opening game at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo. The World Table Tennis Open continued in Frankfurt, Germany with a thrilling encounter that Nigerian star Aruna Kadri may not forget in a hurry. Aruna arrived at the competition brimming with confidence after he successfully defended his African title. The Nigerian international was expected to roll over the Denmark international Jonathan Groth, who is making his debut in the competition, but it was never meant to be. Groth produced a magnificent performance to bundle out Aruna with a commanding 3-love victory. The result was shocking to the entire table tennis world, and after Aruna's Asta, the hope of Africa now rests with Omar Assar of Egypt, who secured a 3-1 win in his game. And that is it on sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
And that's a wrap on the news hour for tonight. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.